Alright, so on one, I've got 165. So I'm going to use the values like I have 30, I have 60, I have 90, I have 120. If I would just count it like 150 and then 180. Like those are all of my 30-degree angles, right? And then if I have all of my 45-degree angles. So if I'm just going to go up to 180. So 45, then 90, then 135, and then 180. Then if I do the 60-degree angles, so I'm at 60, I'm at 120, and then I'm at 180. And then if I do 90, and then I'm at 180. Okay? So I need to pair it with 2. Right, to add or subtract to get to 180, or excuse me, to 165. So if I do that, where is, like, what numbers? Now there's 2 different ways, like I've done it 2 different ways to get like 2 numbers to add up to 165 degrees. Okay, so like I could either take 135 and 30, or like 1 hour I did 120 and 45. Okay, it's just a matter of how you want to pair it. Does that make sense? Okay, so then it becomes, so you figure out which of the 2 you want to use. So do I want to use the 145 or the 120, or do I want to use the 30 and the 135? Okay, then it just becomes plugging it into the formula that I have. So I'm going to go to the sum and the difference. So it's cosine, they're adding. So then I'm basically going to be cosine of, and then which 2 do you want to use? 135. Okay, so if I go 135 plus 30. Okay, then I've got to set it up into my formula, right? So my formula for cosine is going to be, I'm going to go cosine of 135 times cosine of 30 degrees of both, and then it's minus, I'm going to do sine of 135, and then sine of 30 degrees. Okay, so from there, like what I need to do is basically use like the hand trick, right? So it's just a matter of like 135, right? It comes from the 45-degree hand, or part on my hand, right? Okay, so it's a matter of making sure you know, like, when is it positive, when is it negative. So if it is at 45, then it's right here. So that's just square root of 2, square root of 2. But for certain ones, like if it's at 135 degrees, then it is in this area over here, right? Where cosine is negative and sine is positive. So that'll come into play whenever like I use the square root of 2 over 2. Like whenever I use the cosine version of that, like whenever I go with cosine of 135 degrees, it's going to be negative square root of 2 over 2. Does that make sense? Okay. Then when it's a 30-degree angle, so when it's a 30-degree angle here, what is cosine? So cosine's the top side of my hand, right? So how many fingers are above the red? 3. So then it's going to be square root of 3 over 2. So then on the left side, I'm just going to do the left side first. So I'm going to multiply, so I'm going to have negative square root of 6 over 4. You good there? Okay. Now let's do the second half, or the back half. So it's a minus. So then sine of 135. But now sine is positive, so it's going to be just the square root of 2 over 2. Do the same thing for 30 degrees, but it's the bottom side of my hand, so it's going to be just 1/2. Good? Yes? Okay. Multiply those two. So then I'm looking at minus square root of 2 over 4. Now, I can't combine, like it's not going to make it the square root of 8 or square root of 4. Okay, on top. You can either, I'm okay with you leaving it like this, or if you want to rewrite it as negative square root of 6 minus the square root of 2 all over 4, I'm okay with you doing that right there.